Well, joining us on NDTV now is Union Power Minister RK Singh, who is a Member of Parliament from Bihar. Mr. Singh, thank you very much for joining us. Let me first get your detailed thoughts on why Nitish Kumar chose to exit this alliance with the BJP at this time. Do you see it purely as opportunism? Because the JDU claims there was a concerted effort to break the party by the BJP.
No, really. I see it as a simple opportunism, politics without principles, politics only for power. And what power? And my assessment is that somebody told him that he can be Prime Minister material, and that probably went to his head or something. You see, basically, this is an excuse that the BJP was trying to break his party. Just before the elections, we said that Nitish Kumar will be our Chief Minister candidate. We fought elections with him. We got about 70 odd seats, 75 seats. He got only 40 odd seats. Yet we stuck to our word and we made him the Chief Minister. No other party would have done that. Now, the fact that he decided to jump ship is not something new. You see, he has beaten all records of IRAMs and GAYARAMs. There has been no IRAM or GAYARAM in history of Indian politics which has had many IRAMs and GAYARAMs. But there has been no IRAM, GAYARAM who has switched party 4 times or 5 times. This fellow was with RJD, then he came to BJP, then he went back to RJD, then he came to BJP again, then he's gone back to RJD again, and he's gone back to a party which he has been designating as the most corrupt party in the country. He has been saying that this party was responsible for a huge period of darkness of 15 years in Bihar. That party has been responsible for holding
Can I ask you,
Bihar
when Nitish Kumar left the RJD in 2017 to join hands with the BJP, he had already dumped the BJP once back in 2013. So that reputation of IRAM, GAYARAM, as you said, was in a sense already established. The fact that he was switching sides politically, that BJP still chose to ally with him.
And I know something really. The interesting thing is that at that time when he came to BJP, he announced in the assembly and he told Tejashwi that never, even if he dies, even if on his deathbed, he will not go and join RJD again. And look what he's done just 1.5 years after that. You see, at that time when the BJP gave him shelter when he moved away from RJD, at that time also within our party there were many voices which advised the leadership saying that we should not be taking him, but our leadership decided otherwise. And even before we contested this assembly elections, there were many voices in the party which said that we should go it alone and that there's be huge anti-incumbency against Nitish. He'll be a burden. But again, the party leadership decided to go with him. And he was a burden. There's a huge anti-incumbency. We gave him 115 seats. He won only 40 odd.
But it's important.
And if we had contested, we contested 100.
Are you saying the Bihar BJP leadership didn't want to go with Nitish and the central leadership overruled that? Were you amongst
Not the leadership. I'm not about the leadership. There are many. I'm not talking about the leadership. The leadership decided that they want to go with Nitish, but there were many in the party, including me, which who advised the leadership that I think we would be better off for contesting alone. And but the leadership decided otherwise. And the thing is, we contested 100 odd seats. We won 77. We gave him 115 seats. He won 40. So he was a burden. And these 40 seats also he won. On the basis of our votes. If he contests alone, Nidhi, he won't get, I can give it to you in writing, he won't get more than 10 seats. Let him contest alone. I can give a guarantee that he'll not win more than 10 seats. He doesn't have the votes.
What you're saying
you
is
would
very
have seen the Nidhi.
Yeah.
I know.
Sorry,
and Nidhi, you remember the images on the television?
What you're saying is very significant because it shows the sort of difference in the way perhaps sections of the party of the BJP were looking at Nitish Kumar all this time.
Absolutely. We are a Democrat.
But then was he right in
We are a democratic party, so we have debates.
Sure, but he felt that he was being undermined. The speaker was always attacking him. Sections of the BJP were always, pointing their fingers at him. He felt that Chirag Paswan was fielded to undercut him and to undermine him by the BJP. Is there any truth in that?
No, not all. This is an excuse for somebody who is crossed floor 4 times, 5 times. I mean, what happened before this? Was the BJP undermining him that time? If the BJP wanted to undermine him, why would we declare him to be our chief ministerial candidate before the election? And why would we stick to our word after he got only 40 seats out of 115 and we got 77? We would have told him that you become deputy chief minister. We didn't do that. You see, basically, so this is just a pretext. What happened was that some people turned his head, all his samsas around him. They would have told him that, look, you are prime ministerial material, who else is a prime ministerial candidate? The point is that he should have realized that he heads a party which has just 40 odd seats in a house of 215, which has no presence outside of Bihar. And how can he dream to be a prime ministerial candidate? And this just shows the absolute the sort of lack of leadership in the opposition.
But,
and as far as the prime minister's post is concerned, that is not vacant.
Well, certainly from your perspective, that's true. But can I ask you, the other claim that Sushil Modi made, a sensational claim today, which was that the JDU actually approached the BJP and said that please make Nitish Kumar vice president. You guys run the government in Bihar, but let him become vice president. Can you elaborate on that? Are you saying that this is entirely driven by his ambitions to either be prime minister or vice president?
Now, there you are, you heard what Sushil Modi said. That just shows his, the desire for kursi. He's called Kursi Kumar also. The Lalu Prasad used to call him Paltu Kumar. That is part. But that just shows, what he's hankering after. He wants some post. He wanted the vice president. Just shows that. So that if ever there was an example of unprincipled politics, there is this, and he's beaten all records, let me tell you this. And he's gone and joined a party which he kept on abusing for 10, 15, 20 years as the most corrupt party in the country. He sort of gave material for prosecution of, he was one of those people who were gathering material for prosecution of Lalu Prasad in the fodder scam. He blamed Tejashwi for corruption, you remember, and asked him to explain. And this he does just after another scam has been unearthed, the recruitment scam in the railways, where Lalu Prasad, when he was railway minister, was selling jobs
how do you
for
see
money.
This? How do you see this development in the run-up to 2024 and the opposition's fight against Mr. Modi? Some people in the opposition believe that Nitish could be the sort of tall leader from the Hindi heartland who can bring the opposition together. What do you think? Tall leader from Hindi heartland, who's who is ranked third. The number of seats which he has is the third. He's not even. He doesn't have the maximum seats in Bihar Assembly. He doesn't have any presence outside, and he emerging as a tall leader. You see, Nidhi, the blunt fact is that he was a burden on us. As I said, we gave him 115 seats. He lost all of them. He won only 40 odd. And he was, as many of us said, he was a burden. There was a huge anti-incumbency. Now, this burden, the RJD has decided to take upon itself, so they are welcome to it. They'll give him, if they give him 50% of the seats, this fellow will, lose most of them, which we will win. And he'll again, if he gets 100 seats, he'll again win only 30, 40, and the remaining we shall win. So he's welcome to that. Even the 40 seats which he won was because of our votes, not because of his votes. If he contests alone, Nidhi, as a guarantee. But if he contests in the Gathbandhan, are you saying the Gathbandhan is not a challenge? It is, isn't it?
If he contests in the Gathbandhan, then, just like last time, he'll probably get about 35-40 because of RJD votes. By himself, he would not get even more than 5.
So you at least concede that together with the RJD, it's a challenge.
If RJD... Nidhi, if RJD gives him anything more than 50 seats, then they are foolish.
All right. Quick last question. Is there any truth to some rumors that Home Minister Amit Shah called the RJD chief Lalu Yadav and asked him not to go ahead with this government formation in Bihar?
I don't have any idea at all, I think. Need to ask the Home Minister. I have absolutely no idea at all.
All right, RK Singh ji, thank you very much for joining us today on NDTV with the BJP's perspective.
Nidhi, I would discuss. Nidhi, I would discount what you said. You ask me, I would discount what you said, because here you have scam after scam being unearthed. This recruitment scam is the latest, and Lalu Prasad's right-hand man getting arrested for this jobs.
So unlikely that any
for
such call
land,
would have gone.
Unlikely, most unlikely.
All right. RK Singh, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you.